if you know, my brother, that you don't have the sabr and you can't deal with the situation, you're not the man for the job, then you don't have to do anything. You don't have to do anything. Allah Ta'ala mentioned in the Quran, فَذَكِّرْ إِن نَفَعَتِ الذِّكْرِ. Remind them if the remembrance benefits, but it's not going to benefit. So you don't have to remind, you can just get out. Allah commanded us, idfa billati hiya ahsan as-sayyi'ah. Idfa billati hiya ahsanu as-sayyi'ata. Nahnu a'lamu bima yasifun. When they give you problems, push it back and deal with it in the way that is best. The evil, push it back and deal with it in this particular ayah in the way that is best. Another ayah said, if there's a person who has drama with you, by doing that, inshallah, he'll become your friend and so forth and so on. So the point is, we have to deal with it in the best situation. Jadilhum billati hiya ahsan. Argue with them. Don't just argue. Argue with them in the way that's best. And sometimes the best way is to do what? إِذَا خَاطَبُهُمَ الْجَاهِلُونَ قَالُوا سَلَامًا. Man, I don't have time for your drama. I'm out of here. Because to talk to you, it's going to escalate. You be disrespectful. So you don't have to sit and you don't have to feel compelled. I don't have the ability. I can't control myself. Then go about your business and look for someone who his chest is more tolerant and so forth and so on.
You have really, it's very informative speech or talk tonight. And actually, lots of our brothers and sisters, I think they learned a lot today as well from your advices and the way how you present it. I think the only challenging probably task facing most of us intellectualism. So I think this is where we need really to focus most, because we are in the age of maturity, and this is the place where knowledge is. And I think this is the big, sort of aim we should aim for. Of course, you mentioned the knowledge, which is this is the most important issue we have to concentrate on. But I think they need a little bit of guidance, the way how they sort of seek knowledge, and in which way, because most of them they say, well, I'm so busy, I have my lectures and I have my lab and other things, I don't have time to read, and mainly they take something from the internet, and the internet usually is not the basic, you find maybe basic information, but it's not the source you can rely on. I mean, the books, I think, is the most important things nowadays. We have plenty at the center, but unfortunately not everybody has the time. So if you just give them a brief advice how they go about it, just maybe you elaborate on that.
Well, to be honest with you, actually, I'm looking at them, and those guys not looking like they paying attention to me. They eating like the pizza. And it's okay, because it's pizza time right now, but...
Oh, sorry, I didn't see it.
Yeah, you're looking at eating that pizza. But listen, guys, while you're eating the pizza, it's okay. Concerning all of the ayat of the Quran, all of the ahadith that talk about the virtues of knowledge, and there are many. يَرْفَعِ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا مِنْكُمْ وَالَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْعِلْمَ دَرَجَاتٍ. Allah has raised up those who believe in, they've been given knowledge. He didn't say what kind of knowledge. He has raised them in levels and degrees. All of those ayat, all of those hadith. Nabi, he says, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, in so many ayat, person who goes out for knowledge, searching for knowledge, and it was general, Allah will make his way to Jannah easy. Man salaka masrakan yaltamisu fihi ilma, sahhala Allahu lahu bihi tariqan ila Jannah. If you go out for knowledge, Allah will make your way to Jannah easy. Inna al-ulama, inna al-anbiya, warathatul anbiya. The scholars are the inheritors of the prophets. All of the ayat of the Quran and all of the ahadith, all of them that talk about the virtues of knowledge, talk about knowledge of the religion. Don't allow yourself to be a person who's getting a PhD, or you have a PhD, and then you take these ayat and you say, I'm a doctor, and this is talking about Allah has raised me up. I'm a doctor, I'm the inheritor of the prophets. It means that secondarily. It means that peripherally. But primarily, it's talking about knowledge of the religion. So it goes to show we all have to try to get knowledge of the religion. Enough knowledge where you can push off of yourself ignorance. Look what happened with the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He was in the masjid and the man came and the man prayed very quickly, 2 rakats, and then he went and he said, Salamu alaikum ya Rasulullah. The Prophet said, Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. Go back and pray because you didn't pray. The man went back, he prayed a second time very quickly. After he finished, Assalamu alaikum ya Rasulullah. He said, Wa alaikum salam. Go back and pray. You didn't pray. He did it a third time. Assalamu alaikum. Go back and pray. He third time. Fourth time. He said, go back. He said, Ya Rasulullah, I don't know. Teach me. So the Nabi told him, when you want to make salah, make a good wudu. Don't waste water. Get it all on your arms. After you make wudu, face the qibla. After that, say Allahu Akbar. After that, read what's easy for you, Quran. After that, make ruku' and stay in ruku' with your back straight. Don't just go in ruku' and get up. And he went through the whole prayer. What's the point here? The point here is the man prayed in his mind, but he didn't pray in accordance to the scales of the Quran and the Sunnah. The man fasted, but he didn't fast in accordance to the Quran and the Sunnah. How many of you have performed Hajj? Put your hands up. High. It's not Riyah. Put your hands down. How many of you have not performed Hajj? Masakin. Oh Allah, help them to perform Hajj. Oh Allah, make it easy this year they perform Hajj. Oh Allah, give them the niyyah and the means to perform Hajj. I tell you, when you go to the house of Allah, it's going to blow your mind. It's going to literally blow your mind. You ask any of these people, how did you feel when you first saw the Kaaba? The person says surreal. Goosebumps come on you right now. Baytullah al-Haram. Anyway, if someone came in here and said, okay guys, visa, passports, everything, here's the tickets, go and make Hajj. Most of us, we're not going to know what they're doing. That's the knowledge we have to get. The knowledge where me as an individual, there are things that are wajib upon. Abu Usamah, after learning enough to get those things taken care of. When I first made Hajj in 1986, there's a thing called the Jamarat, where we go and we stone the shaitan. A long time ago, it's not like it is now. You make Hajj now, it's knowledge of the dunya that helped to save the lives of the people in Hajj right now. Anybody been in Hajj the last 2 years, 3 years? The way the Jamarat are now, easy. You just throw and keep moving. But in 86, 87, we were bunched up. And it was tough. There was an old man. He had his ihram on. He jumped over the thing to the Jamarat, the pillar, and he had an umbrella, and he started stabbing the umbrella. And his ihram fell off. And he didn't have any clothes on. And he was an old man, and he was stabbing the thing. Why? He was in a frenzy because shaitan, like all of us, he made a lot of problems in our lives. Problems between our parents, our siblings, all kind of problems. All kind of issues. Shaitan is playing with us day in and day out. We're all struggling. May Allah help us to subdue shaitan al-rajim. But that man, he was happy and he was, is that what the Nabi wanted? My wife was there and she was watching the man. I don't want my wife to see that old man's aura like that. So that's the knowledge that we have to learn about, guys. That's the knowledge that we have to learn about. The knowledge of how to pray Sharifa, Latifa, Hafsa, Aisha, Abdullah, Bilal, Abu Hanifa, Kamil. Knowledge about your religion where you learn how to read the Quran. That's from the things that you have to know. In this place right now, we have Arabs. I don't care if he's an Arab with a PhD. His lisan. My lisan is not Arab. I'm Ajami, like most of you. He's in Arabic. His tongue is Arabic. And he has a PhD in Arabic language. He is not going to pick this Quran up by himself and just read it correctly. He'll read it, but he won't read it correctly if he doesn't have someone who's going to teach him. Allah Ta'ala said about Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Allamuhu shadidul quwa. Rasulullah was taught by one who was mighty, meaning Jibreel. When Jibreel would come to him and read the Quran, Rasulullah would try to memorize it and move his lips. Allah told him, La tuharrik bihi lisanaka lita'jala bi. Inna alayna jam'ahu wa Qur'ana. Don't move your lips like that trying to memorize it. Take it easy. We're going to bring it together and stuff like that. So Allah said, "Rattil wa rattil al-Quran tartila." Read this Quran correctly. If you don't take the time out to go to someone to teach you the Quran, you're not reading it correctly. Even the Arabs from amongst us. That's the knowledge that you have to get. The basic knowledge. And the more you do, the better. So you have to make some kind of commitment. And I end by the hadith of the Nabi. He says, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, "Man ahabba an ya'rifa ma lahu inda Allahi falyanzur ma lillahi indahu." Anyone who wants to know his position with Allah, then let him look at Allah's position with him. You want to know where your standing is with Allah? Then what is Allah's standing with you? Do you get up for Fajr? Do you make attempts to learn basic things? When we make mistakes, are we making tawbah? If given an opportunity to listen to Lady Gaga or to listen to I was reading it today in London. The girl is going to be with the Rolling Stones. Yeah, Lady Gaga. Or Beyonce. You know, seriously. A chance to watch the Bollywood movie, Nollywood movie, Hollywood movie. Or he has the choice of listening to the Quran or watching an Islamic program. If he's given those choices, and it's always these things that take us away from Allah and His remit, and it brings us close to Shaitan, then that'll give you an indication of where your position is with Allah. So, learn basic things like how to read the Quran. Come to know about who your Prophet was, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And guys, when I became a Muslim, I was with a group of people. Now just imagine, African American, used to be Christian, I met Muslims. Pakistan, Palestinians, Africans, where I was at. Many, many Muslims. I'm brand spanking new. The first group of people, they brought out a white silk blanket and a green silk blanket. We got in a circle. They made Pbuh, incense. They dimmed the lights, and they start going, ooh, 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 ooh. I said, oh, what is that? Allah, 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 Allah. I said, no, man, I'm not feeling it. It doesn't make sense. I'm not going to do it. Because in Jahili, my mother loves me. She gave me shirk and kufr. She told me Isa is the son of Allah. And she loves me more than anybody here. I would have died on that kufr. And she loves me. So I can't just take what Muslims are telling me. Because she loves me. And she was misguiding me. And she had good intentions. So I said, I have to ask people, what's going on? What's going on? I used to ask them, why are we doing this? They said, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he came and he sat down on the white one, and Al-Khidr from Surah Al-Kahf, he sat down on the green one. I said, you people see that? You see that? You see them there? They said, yes, with the eye of the heart. I said, I'm out of here, man. I'm out. I go to the next masjid, next to the minbar of the imam, the minbar. Over here to the right was a big plush chair. To the left was a regular chair. I asked him, why we have two chairs? And no one ever sits in them. The chair over here is for the teacher, for the classes. And the right chair, Prophet Muhammad sits there. When does he sit there? He sits there on the Jummah day, every Jummah. Every Jummah. I said, every Jummah? In New York, in Texas, in California, in Peking, China, in Honolulu, every Friday? Yes. It's wajib, the knowledge you have to learn in me. It's wajib to learn about these things. Who is Allah? What he does? What does he do? What does he doesn't? What does he not do? How is he described? How is he? You have to learn those basic things. Who is the Nabi? Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Is he created from the nur of Allah? Does he know the ilm al-ghayb? Is he living forever? Can I make dua for him and he gives me? So learn the basics. You don't have to be a scholar. But you guys, I think the hujjah, the dalil, the argument is established because you're intellectuals. Some of you are gifted intellectually. And I end with this, I have to go. There was a lady, a young girl a few years ago, she called herself lyrical terrorist. She was that young sister who tried to stab the MP at the subway. She was 21 years old, and she was an excellent student in the university. But at home, she used to get on the internet, those radical extreme sites, writing crazy stuff. How to get bombs and send me this and send me that. They caught her. She called herself the lyrical terrorist. When she stood before the judge said, you are an enigma. You're something difficult to understand. You're young, intellectually gifted, and you throw your life away for what? Some of you are like that. You're young, intellectually gifted. You can memorize this book. Because some of you are doing some high sciences. Wallahi, I go to Sainsbury and I say, how much is the water? They say that water is a pound and 35 pence. I give him 10 pounds. When he gives me the change back, I say, okay, 35, 40, good. And that's how I add up. Elementary. But I don't move until I know I added up my money. And I'm not embarrassed about it. I'm not embarrassed to tell you that. Some of you have equations in your head like that. You know, really. Those grams. Those are diagrams. Some of you are like that. Teachers, professors. You can memorize the Quran. Don't let Shaitan rip you off. So get knowledge of your religion enough to push off of yourself ignorance and be balanced.
I want you to tell us the beauty of sticking to the Sunnah. Doing things the way Sunnah should be done. Even though we're in the 20th century, we are where the technology is used, but we know that a lot of things have been polluted. And we know that Islam has been painted. But in this age, what is the benefit of sticking to that Sunnah?
No doubt, I think it's important that we all buy into it and we're not apologetic. Although I told you the importance of knowledge of the religion, secular knowledge is important. Islam puts a lot of emphasis on secular knowledge. If everybody in here memorized the Quran and we were all scholars, then the quality of our lives are going to be affected adversely. Because we're going to need doctors, and we're going to need dentists, and we're going to need electricians and plumbers and so forth and so on. Everyone can't be a scholar, or it'll be fitna in our lives. We need people who are chefs and so forth and so on. So knowledge that's secular, technology, Islam pushes us towards that. Allah said, Inna Qarun kana min qawmi Musa fabagha alayhim. Qarun, he was from Musa's people. He was Bani Israel, Hebrew, but he was oppressive because he was proud of his money and he was next to Fir'aun. A Muslim in the system, and he looks down on Muslims. Don't be like that. The people with knowledge told Qarun, وَلَا تَنْسَ نَصِيبَكَ مِنَ الدُّنْيَا. Don't forget your portion of the dunya. Be honest with me, guys, like you were honest about Hajj. How many of you have seen the program Cribs? How many of you saw that program Cribs? Come on now. Okay? Islam doesn't say it's haram to have a crib like that. If you can afford it, Allah loves to see the ni'mah that He gives to His servant. A nice car, you have a Bentley, what? As long as you can afford it, and you're not arrogant, and you pay your zakat, it's okay. Wallahi, it's okay. It doesn't take you away from the dunya, it's okay. The point is, knowledge of the dunya, secular knowledge, Islam is for it. And anybody who tells you it's just the religion, is misinforming you. Allah said in the Quran, يَسْأَلُونَكَ مَاذَا أُحِلَّ لَهُمْ قُلْ أُحِلَّ لَكُمْ الطَّيِّبَاتِ وَمَا عَلَّمْتُم مِّنَ الْجَوَارِحِ مُكَلِّبِينَ تُعَلِّمُونَهُنَّ مِمَّا عَلَّمَكُمُ اللَّهُ فَأَمْسِكُوا فَكُلُوا مِمَّا أَمْسَكْنَا عَلَيْكُمْ وَاذْكُرُوا فَكُلُوا مِمَّا أَمْسَكْنَا عَلَيْكُمْ وَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ إِنَّ اللَّهَ سَرِيعُ الْحِسَابِ. They asked you, Ya Muhammad, because they were students, they wanted to know. The companions, they asked you, what is halal? What is good for them to eat? Tell them what's halal to eat, and all of the good tayyibat, oranges, pizza, juice, zamzam, and permissible for you to eat also is the food that the dog that you have, the trained dog. If he goes out and hunts and he gets the animal and you trained him, don't kill the animal. He's just holding the animal. And then when you come, you slaughter the animal. Although that dog bit him and held him and attacked him, you can eat that. So go ahead and eat it and fear Allah. Now, if there were wild dogs and they killed the animal, you can't eat that. It's carrion. It's a carcass. You have to leave it. That ayat of the Quran goes to show, number one, the dog with knowledge, he's been trained. Sit, roll over, do this, don't eat him. That dog, knowledge, raised the dog up. And what knowledge does the dog have? Does he have knowledge of the Quran and the Sunnah? No. He has knowledge of the dunya. Don't kill the animal. Sit up. Let the animal go. So knowledge, if it can beautify the dog, it can definitely beautify Bani Adam. And knowledge of the dunya. And it beautify you. Make your life easier, inshallah. Make your life easier. So just strike the balance. Just strike the balance. And from that knowledge, the balance comes in knowing the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Just how he was. Sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi wa sallam.
The three things you mentioned, I did not really get them about. You said the Prophet said three things will save somebody.
Good question, Akhi. I love those kind of questions. Shows that the person was listening and he wants to know further. The three things that will save you is being fair and just when you're pleased and when you're angry. Number two is having al-qasd, being focused when you have money and when you're impoverished. You know, when you have money and when you don't have money, you're still doing stuff. You're taking the time out to do whatever you can do. I can't purchase the pizza, but I'm going to go pick it up and bring it here. I can't purchase it. And the third thing he says, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, fearing Allah in alaniya and in secret. Fearing Allah when you're in front of the people, and fearing Allah when you away from the eyes of the people. Right here, we're all going to fear Allah. But at home, I'm going to get on the internet and I'm going to watch crazy stuff. I'm going to be with my different people. I'm going to get high and things. So fear Allah when you're in front of the people, which is from the religion. You have to fear, you have to have hayat in front of the people. And also when you go home, fear Allah. Fear Allah when you go home and nobody sees you. Not even, like the malaika. The malaika. They're with you when you are home. They're with you when you're at home. So the Nabi used to teach the people, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, when you're by yourself, I have jealousy for my wife. I don't want any man to see one strand of her hair. I don't want anyone to see the contours of her body. And I have jealousy of my wife with the jinn as well. They're a jinn, believers and non-Muslims. So the Nabi, he told the people, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, sitru ma bayna a'yad a'yun al-jan wa awrat bani Adam an yaqul ahaduhum idha khala'a thawbahu bismillah. The way Bani Adam covers up his aura in front of the jinn can see you naked. The way Bani Adam will stop them from seeing your nakedness is if you say when you take your clothes off, Bismillah. Before you take them off, Bismillah, the jinn can't see your nakedness. So if a person is living and existing on that level, angels are watching us. By myself, I'm going to drink Jack Daniels and I'm going to drink some Stellas. By myself, watch the NBA basketball game. Just by myself. I gotta imagine, the angel must be there saying, Abu, what are you doing? What are you doing? But if my iman is down, I don't look at them like that. I don't look at them like that. The Muslim girl who most of these guys just want to have sex with you, that's all. They're not really serious. If they were serious, they would have went about it another way. They would have went about it in an honorable way. They would have honored your father. They would have honored you. They would have honored your brothers. But they're going about it the wrong way. That angel is saying, what are you doing? What are you doing? So part of our iman in al-malaika is that we have to believe that they're here, they can see us in the jinn. So the point here, Akhi, the point here is, the third one, fearing Allah when you're in the public's eye and when you're in the privacy of your own home. Good question. That was the best.